Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we have a spectacular build on our hands. Look at this little beauty. It is a contemporary home. It is quite large, and it is a mansion baron house. Now, if you're not familiar with what a mansion baron house is, basically there is the mansion baron aspiration. And this house, in one foul swoop, you just need to switch the aspiration over and it will go ding, 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 and you have completed the aspiration in just seconds. It is fabulous, but it does take a little bit of building because you need a house with a minimum value of 350,000. I think this ended up at around about 360 odd. So not too bad, and you need, I think it's around about 20 or 30 windows, 20 or 30 columns, and you need about 15 pieces of art, easy peasy. And yeah, there's a few things that you need along the way, but the biggest thing is getting it to the value of 350, making sure you've got the columns, the windows, and the art. So I made sure I did all that, and we tested out at the end of the video just to make sure I hit all of the sweet spots, and yeah. Bob's your uncle, except it did take a while. This is not a short build. It was not a short build at all. I think it took me probably around about 6 hours total, which is quite a long build for me. I normally average around between 2 to 4 hours for builds, just depending on how big they are. Larger builds, obviously, it makes sense that they take longer because you've got more things to decorate and stuff. So yeah, this took about 6 hours all up, real time. And without editing. So, you know, I got it down to under an hour, so I was quite happy with that as a speed build. So I'm just fixing the roofs at the moment. The reason that I am doing it the way I am, why was I doing it like that? There was a reason. I can't for the life of me think what it was though. Oh well. Anyway, I did it like that for a reason, I'm sure. I just cannot remember what it was. So I am like, I think that's actually why. Because I was going to experiment with putting the hipped roof down there and trying to get the hipped roof flowing across, because I did actually have an inspiration for this build. So I was working to a visual plan, certainly not a floor plan because I never worked to floor plans. I don't know how to build to floor plans. I mean, I imagine I could if I tried, but it feels too constrained to me. It's like, well, you have to build it this way. It's like, well, I don't want to build it this way. I want to build it this way. I'm a little engine of chaos, I guess, at the end of the day when it comes to building. I'm going to do it my way and that's it. But anyway, it's honestly, it's true. Yeah, floor plans, I just like look at them and I'm like, nah, don't want to do it that way. Anyhow, what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Doesn't matter. So I'm getting some of the columns in at the moment. It was actually pretty easy once I thought about it, getting those 20 columns or however many columns. I did have it written down and then I threw the piece of paper away. So, you know, good on me. It was around about 20 columns though. And yeah, I just used the thin ones. I think they're from Get Together. They're probably one of my favorite columns just because of their simplicity. Like, I love how simple and plain they are, and it just makes them more versatile. So, you know, don't discount things that are just simple for their versatility, because you can use them in all sorts of ways. Anywho, so they're just sort of going in around all of the corners. So it's not like a super columny kind of house in an obvious way. It's more sort of used as subtle cornering and shaping of the house rather than being the big obvious kind of columns. And I did actually end up changing those growing together columns out. I was trying to make them work, but it wasn't doing it for me, so those will be deleted probably pretty shortly. There we go. And the house itself was white with a sort of a white clapboard and a white stone. So what you're seeing there is pretty similar to what the inspiration was. I did have to obviously take some liberty and make some changes. There was like more like an attached garage and stuff, but when you start attaching the garage and you're on a raised foundation, obviously that's problematic in The Sims 4. So not really something I wanted to muck around with. So I was like, nah, we won't do a garage. And you know, at the end of the day, and it wasn't super necessary because it's about the value of the house, and it's not like the cars add value to the house. I mean, the garage certainly does, but I'd rather focus on having the extra bedrooms going in here. So this actually doesn't have that many bedrooms. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, and 1, 2, 3, I think 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. So it's not like massive as far as rooms go, but it does have a sauna. I don't often build saunas, but you know what? I need to build those more, particularly if I'm doing like a big build and I need to fill space. Saunas are fantastic. I just kind of forget they're in the game. So I did build a sauna room, and I built a separate laundry, and I built a separate gym and a separate study. So it's got like rooms there if you wanted to have extra rooms rather than like a sauna, gym, study, etc. You could just delete those out and put extra bedrooms in very easily. So I'm just building the fencing, sorting that out. It did have something different around the front of the inspiration, so I just kind of had to make it up a little bit. It did kind of have those mini columns at the front by the fencing. The fencing that was in the picture was very different, so I didn't have anything remotely similar in Sims 4. So, you know, you just make do with what you got. And I kept it fairly simple as far as the landscaping and stuff goes. I just did like some flowers around the edge and that sort of thing, but left, you know, a decent amount of lawn, and just added in the trees here and there, sort of dotted those around just to sort of sit in the corners of the build and stuff, just to pretty it up some, you know how it goes. But here I am starting on the landscaping. So I did the landscaping, or the garden, sort of confined within the little stone area that I'm creating here. I will skip over some of it because, you know, it's just placing plants at the end of the day. And there wasn't like I mean, in terms of my thought process behind it, I did want to keep it pretty simple as far as the colour palette goes. So I kept it white and green. So sort of green plants and white sort of green bushes and white flowering plants. So I think I used like the little flowering plant from the Romantic Garden pack, and you can sort of see some of the base game bushes and stuff going in there. Just use dotting those around the place. Although I may change the colour of those green ones to the debug one at some point. Not sure. So just like the little, it's not Daisy. I don't know what that one is. But it's like, it's a slightly bushier white one that you can get from base game. And dotted that around, and then I just moved on to doing a few other bits and pieces with the white flowers from the Romantic Garden stuff pack, and just filled the space with that. So there you go. And just kept it pretty. So moving on to windows. So I used the Greenhouse Haven windows, and also the Get Famous windows, actually. So I did play around with like different windows that would work in the middle of there, but the Get Famous ones were the closest to what the inspiration was. So I basically just use those 2 types of windows, I think. I don't think I use anything else. That's it for around there, but there was like a really nice contrast in the inspiration with the white and the black windows. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that and how that came out. And the Greenhouse Haven windows are just fantastic for like modern builds. And actually industrial builds as well. Those windows actually work with industrial builds really nicely. That's the Batu planters going in there. Those are like some of my favourite planters. So there is Batu. This is not a limited pack build at all. This is every pack challenge. Well, it's not a challenge, but it's every pack goes into this build. I did not limit myself on this one. This one time I built, and it is up on the gallery, I built a million simoleon house just out of base game items once. Oh my gosh, that was so hard. Like finding enough things to spend 1 million simoleons on a house. Ridiculous. Oh, it was so hard decorating that house after a while. It's like, what can I use? What's the most expensive thing I can find? Oh, but anyway, I did it. But that was hard work. finding a million simoleon amount of things from just base game. I was like, oh boy, why did I think of that? That was before I started making content, so I was just building for the sake of building, as you do. So just working out what I want to do for paving stones. So I think I end up with get together. Yeah, that's get together paving, and then I'm just going to extend that out a little bit around the back because I want to put like a little garden in, and then have like a little bit of grass space. I can't remember if I put in like a kids area or not. I don't think I did. But I did leave the space there so that if you did have kids in the house, then you had the option to throw whatever you liked on the grass. A swing, a slide, a climbing frame, whatever you like. So that is basically the landscaping just about done. I will skip over a little bit of the exterior decorating. It's just basically I'm using a lot of the patio stuff pack stuff and palms. And that is probably my favorite outdoor table set. I can't remember which one it's from though. I think that's from the patio. Is that from patio? Or backyard stuff? Can't remember. And my favorite barbecue, which is from the Desert Lux pack, of course. Then just using a little base game table going in there, just like an extra table space. I mean, it's a big house, so you're probably going to have a few people over for parties and things like that. I mean, I could see people in here socializing, so it made sense to me that there would be a bit of seating out the back, as well as the pool. And just using the patio stuff pack and other bits and pieces, just cooking paraphernalia, I guess is probably the best way to put that. And then just using the Desert Lux couch, and I think it was a patio stuff pack tree, which is actually one of my favorite trees. I really like that tree. I really need to use that tree more. It's a pretty tree. I love it. I love that it's shaped and quite simple, but you know, it does the job quite nicely. Just getting the bin there in the corner, just got that hidden away, and just doing like a little bit of a path through to there as well. And I think that's just about the outside. I'm going to put some trees along the edge here. Just like, it's just kind of like, you know how in some houses you have like a windbreaker with trees, like you do a row of trees and that's kind of a windbreaker. That was kind of the idea behind that. Anyway, now we have moved inside and I'm just working out the stair situation and how that's going to work going up. So we have 3 floors. The bottom floor is going to have the kitchen, the laundry, the sauna, the study, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and then moving on to the second floor, that's going to have the gym, 2 bedrooms, 2 studies, and the top floor is a whole art studio. So there's like easels and there's like a little photography area and stuff like that as well. So that was I've actually built this originally for one of my Twitter followers and Twitter buddies, Dutch Matrix. They were after a mansion barren house, and I was like, well, you know what, I need some stuff to build. I'll build that. It did take me longer than I thought, but I actually really love how it came out. And anyway, the one request was that the house have an art studio, so I dedicated the whole top floor to a lovely, spacious, well-lit art studio where they can do their painting with their Sims, and it's lovely. So that's the top floor there, and I'm just getting in the colouring for the house. So the floors, and you absolutely know, I'm just sort of doing like a base colour and then evolving it as I do the rooms. At this point, it's like, no, it's a jumping off point. It's not exactly how I am going to keep all of these rooms. They are not going to all stay this colour. I just kept it pretty neutral so that as I worked out the rooms, I could just change it as I needed to. I just find it easier, like if there is colour on the wall, and then once I start getting the furniture in, I can actually start seeing how it works with the neutral walls and start thinking about the tones that actually work with the furniture that I'm using. And then I can evolve it from there. I don't know, it's just my process and how I figure things out in my brain as I'm decorating. So I've just done, like, started a little bit on the study and then realized, because funny story, I actually thought that was the entranceway. So I started putting all the whole stuff in there and I was like, oh no, hang on, that's the study. Die. Dear. So anyway, so I put a tiny little bit of the study in there. I kept the chairs and stuff that I was thinking about putting in the entranceway. And then I've used the Desert Luxe shelf and using everyday clutter bags and the letter holder, base game shoes and Seasons umbrella. I actually really like that mirror. That comes from Werewolves. It didn't really suit the vibe of the house, but I really like the mirror. It does get deleted. I don't keep it because it doesn't suit the vibe, but I've got to use that mirror more. I like how it's got like little shelves underneath it. I think that's quite cute. Anyway, so I've now created like a dedicated, yes. You know how you sometimes say words and then all of a sudden like you're saying them and then they may have no meaning anymore. That's like kind of where I got to the point with dedicated. I was like, oh, is that a word even more? I don't know. Anyway, so dedicated hallway area is going in. So I just tripled up the mirrors because I thought that looked super cute. And then I used the, is it Luxury Party or Vintage? One of the two. Those mirrors are going in there using the decor to the max chair. I actually like the little pattern on that. I thought that was super cute. And just a little painting on the side because we've got to do like a lot of paintings in this build. Then I realized it was all off center, so I just had to tweak that a little bit. And this is what I was talking about, where I start with a base color, neutral, and then yeah, it evolved into like a soft blue. It's like almost like it's not tealy blue, but it's not quite a blue either. It's just got a touch of something in there. It's a really nice blue anyway. And it turned out to work really well with those flowers. So I was like, yay! So then we go back to the study where I selected this desk, and then like the more I looked at it, the more I hated it. So I kind of built around it, and then and then I ended up having to change the desk because I was like, you know what, I actually don't like that desk. There was something about it, like it looked, I don't know, just kind of clunky. And I think the top of it I didn't particularly love either. So, because yeah, first glance I was like, oh yeah, no, I like that. And then like, you know, just one of those things where you look at it, the more you look at it, the less you like it. And that was the case with this desk. It's like, nah, you know what, I think we're going to change it. So anyway, I'm just getting in some clutter using the Everyday Clutter Kit. It is my little go-to when I'm dressing up around a study, because it has all sorts of lovely little bits and pieces that you can bring your study to life with. And I'm just going to add some books. So I'm just using the base game towel rack to drag the books across onto the shelves. And it was being a little bit tricksome because of all the stuff. But anyway, got there in the end. So some more books there and some more books running down there as well. And then I realized, you know, why am I doing that? I can just like get a bookshelf from the Book Nook kit and just like add like a couple of extra books to it. So I was like, sometimes I just do things the hard way. I don't know. My brain just thinks that way. It thinks in a difficult manner. It's just difficult, that's all. So I think I'm just working out on what colour I want the study to be. So I'm going a little bit darker. I do that in a few rooms, go a little bit darker rather than lighter, but then there's a few rooms that I go lighter as well. But it's all within the same sort of colour palette. So I'm using a lot of blacks and browns with touches of blue as well. And sort of creams and whites will filter in here and there as well. But the main palette is sort of the different shades of brown, which is very in for this season. So if you've been watching my CC series, my on trend series, you'll have heard me talking about how chocolate or shades of brown are very in for this season. So of course I needed to use some expensive musical instruments because, you know, I've still got to get the house up to a value of $350,000, and you know what, it's not that easy. I didn't actually go out of my way to use all of the most expensive stuff. You know, like I didn't use any of the most expensive beds or anything like that. I just used the beds that worked nicest, you know, the nicest with the rooms. So yeah, I mean, I got there fairly easy as far as the value goes. I did have to add a couple of things at the end because I looked at it and I was like, oh, I'm only at 338,000. And I filled the house up. But other than that, yeah, I did not go out of my way to use the most expensive items. And that's sometimes the easiest way to get the challenge or the aspiration finished, is just, you know, go through and use those 15,000 simoleon beds and whatever, and the really expensive violin and the most expensive art. But I did not go that route. I just built the house as I wanted to build it, and just made sure I had those things that I needed, so the art, the columns and the windows, and the rest sort of just took care of itself as I decorated. Because, you know, at the end of the day, if you're filling up a big house like this, you are going to spend a decent amount of money. So moving on to the kitchen, I used the Jungle Adventure table, by the way, in the dining room. And then into the kitchen, I'm using the Home Chef Hustle pack, basically for the whole kitchen. It's just all Home Chef Hustle, and that's that. And it is a big kitchen as well. I mean, I had plenty of space. I was like, wow, you know what? I'm going to enjoy having a large kitchen. I mean, I would love to have like a super large kitchen. Like, my kitchen's not that small, but having an even larger kitchen, that would make me happy, you know. You've got space to wander around and space for more than one person to be in there. Like, I can't share my kitchen at all. I'm just like, if anyone's in there with me, it's just like, get out. I can't deal with you in my space. Like, my husband well knows that, like, you know, if I'm in the kitchen cooking, stay out of there. But, you know, even like a decent sized kitchen, it's still, you always want to be in like the same space. So you always want to be either near the fridge or using the bench or using the oven. It's just like there's a limited amount of space to do the things that you need to do, and you just end up all on top of each other, and it's just like, grrr. You know. So we are working on the clutter, so just dragging that around to the corners where I want them. So just got all sorts of bits and pieces. I found my clutter first, and then I'll just quickly all drag it out and place it. I find that just the quickest way to do it, because it is a lot of just sorting through the menu as such and finding what you're looking for. So I did that, and there we are. Oh, and that's a little breakfast nook as well. So the back of that, where I'm putting stuff at the moment, that's just going to be like a little breakfast island, kitchen island kind of thing. Go in there, and just doing the recipe book that comes with Home Chef Hustle, because it is super cute. So there will be still like a little bit that I need to do in the kitchen, but I'll come back to that, because I was kind of looking at that space at the end. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with that space. I was thinking about it as I was decorating the kitchen, and then I was like, I'm going to move on and do another little portion of the house, because I really don't know what I'm doing with that end of the kitchen. So I started doing the laundry. So we've just got a separate laundry here, mostly just decorative stuff, but it's got laundry baskets and the washer dryer in there, so, you know, does what it's meant to do. So that's the main thing. I basically just rated the laundry day stuff pack for this stuff. For the most part, I don't think there's much else that went into this room. But, you know, when you've got a stuff pack that is 100% dedicated to the laundry, why wouldn't you use it, right? I did use like a couple of different packs for the piles of clothing. So that is from high school years, and then I use just the base game folded shirts. There is an debug a folded shirt that comes with with the laundry pack as well. Yes, laundry. So I do actually use that later in the build. So while I was doing that, I did figure out what I was going to do with that room. I'm just changing the kitchen to a herringbone tile in the blue, and that comes with the Growing Together pack. So I decided that I would kind of do like a massage room. I thought that would be a cool idea. And then, so I'm just going to get like all the curtains and block it off and just make it, you know, all really soothing and relaxing. And then, like, as I was going through the spa day stuff, I saw the sauna, and I was like, hello, that's even better. So I was trying to fit like the massage chair in beside the sauna, but it was just a little bit too squishy. So that'll go soon. But I put like all the immaculate shelves around the edge of the sauna. So that's all going around the edges, and then I'll add all the little bits and pieces onto the shelf just to add some clutter. So I'm just using the Dream Home Decorator cubby just to click and drag the items so that they will sit on the shelf. I did have to use the sauna because the sauna has little snap points as well with a little bit of shelving. And so yeah, just basically raiding a lot of the spa day pack, because I mean it makes sense. The sauna comes with the spa day pack, so it made sense to use a lot of the spa day stuff that came with that pack as well, because it all sort of works together. It's, you know, really soothing. You've got your aromatherapy with the incense holders and stuff. So yeah, I would actually really love, like, I don't know, actually, I say that I would probably like a spa pool or something like that, but I don't know about a sauna because I've got claustrophobia. So being in a hot steamy room where I can't sense a clear path of fresh air, which is key for me, I probably wouldn't like it. To be honest, just the thought of going into a sauna and like being in a steamy room full of like steamy air and not having a fresh airstream coming in, it just like freaks me out. So I've never been in a sauna. I don't want to go on one just for that reason. You know, we all have our things. So going back to the kitchen, that allowed me to work out what I was going to do with the rest of that space. So we've got the sauna in behind the kitchen, and then I'm doing like a little appliance corner because I thought, well, you know, we've got all these little cool appliances. Then I use the table, the sort of the bar table that came with the industrial loft kit, and I'm just kind of using that like a kitchen island table, where, you know, you maybe like do some chopping or have like, you know, just like a little bit of extra workspace, because you got like all sorts of space being covered there by the appliances. So I thought that'd be quite neat. And you do see that in like quite a few kitchens and stuff when you're looking at different designs and stuff. They have like a little kitchen island thing where you do your chopping or whatever extra bit of work. So now we are moving on to the living room. So I'm going with the Dream Home Decorator couch, obviously, and using the Industrial Loft Kit coffee table. I am using the Industrial Loft Kit rug because that's my favorite rug, and the Wedding Stories bouquet because that's my favorite bouquet. And then I did actually struggle a little bit with what artwork work there. Then I was like, oh, hang on, there's black and white artwork, so that would be absolutely perfect. So just using the giant TV that came with the Get Famous pack, because if you're going to use a big TV, why not use the biggest? And then I sort of had to work out what I was going to do with the rest of the space. I was like, oh, where can these armchairs sit in a way that makes sense and, you know, still has like flow running through. And then I was like, this is like quite a big space, this room. And it was quite hard to come up with an idea as to what I was going to do with it. And then I put this rug down. Then I was like, maybe I can just like put a coffee table around and do like some armchairs around it and like have it as like a little comfy socialization, maybe like a reading spot, you know, with a couple of, those are the Book Nook chairs, by the way, armchairs that I'm using, and just the base game round end table. That is my favorite end table from base game because it's fabulous. And yeah, so mixed it up color wise by using the lighter brown with the armchairs, and then going back to black with the second couch. Just going to do the Desert Luxe curtains because they're my favorite curtains, and I did those in blue just to bring that touch of blue to the room, because I've used blue throughout the house here and there, and I thought that made sense to have like blue curtains there. And I'm just doing like another little couch nook area, little social area, just using the same things again, the same furniture. I mean, it kind of makes sense to use the same furniture again, just to be consistent and make it look like it's a set, you know. So on that blank wall that I've got, that nice blue wall there that will change, I am doing a bar area because I thought, well, you know, that makes sense to have a bar in there. You're going to be sitting around socializing. Why not? So anyway, changed that to dark brown because I thought that looked a little better, and worked out what I was going to do with the bar stools eventually. Just used the Dream Home Decorator ones and did a little bit more decoration, skipped over that, and just putting an end table and a vase there. That vase comes from Horse Ranch, and the picture came from the Book Nook kit. So moving on to the first of the bedrooms. So this is one of the downstairs bedrooms. This is going to be quite a blue themed room. So I'm using the Snowy Escape bed and side tables. And I'm just looking for some chairs, and I'm actually going with Dream Home decorated chairs. I'm really into those chairs at the moment. You know, I just go through these phases when it comes to choosing like different decorations and stuff like that, where I'll just use like, I'll see something and I'll be like, you know what, I really like that, and then I'll start using it more and more often and that sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, so I started creating a area for a dressing area. So I'm using the Snowy Escape wardrobe table and shelves, wardrobes times 2, and I'm using the Machino stuff pack where I was hanging hanging clothes thing, and then I've gone back to it. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, and I mean, there was plenty of room, so I was like, well, why not? Let's just go overboard with the dressing area. But, you know, to be honest, if you've got like a couple or something living in that room, you kind of, like, when I think about how much space we need for our clothes, just me and my husband, I think that's a decent amount of space for clothes, right? And it's not a walk-in wardrobe, but I just kind of felt like the layout of the room didn't lend itself to a walk-in wardrobe. Not... Like, I could have done, yeah, I mean, I guess I could have if I'd had the bed, like, down the other end of the room, but I don't know. I think that end of the room was, like, a little bit too narrow, and I couldn't have done that much with the space for the bedroom, and I just wanted to, you know, have a bit of room there, and now, like, we can fit some couches in there, and, like, a TV and stuff, so, that's cool. It all worked out. It's fine. It does the job. So just getting in like a TV, bouquet, and then another couch, and then we'll be moving on to the next room, I think. Oh no, I need a plant. There we go. And then moving on to the bathrooms. So just using the Growing Together wallpaper, and then I'm just going to change the flooring just to take it a little bit darker. Using the Island Living counters, so because I really like how it's got the rattan ends on them. I think that's really neat. So I used a dishwasher, shrunk it down, and put the laundry basket underneath the counter because I like that little trick, and I think it looks neat. And because the laundry basket has the same sort of weave thing going on as the counters, I think that actually looks quite cool. So I like the look of that. And then it occurred to me as I was doing this, I was just thinking about what to do on the walls and that sort of thing. So I came up with an idea that I actually really haven't done in bathrooms, which is actually using hanging counters. You know how you have the hanging counters in the bathroom, in the kitchen. I thought, well, why can't I use those in the bathroom? So I did. I'm just using the Dream Home Decorator hanging cabinets in there, and then that's I think it's Parenthood. What's it called? Bathroom cabinet. Oh, I'm just putting the stuff through to the next room, just to save time because I'm going to use the same stuff in the next bathroom over, and that's the Ain't That Slate bath, Ain't That Slate toilet. Don't know what shower. And those are from Seasons. Can't quite see what shower that is. I think it might be the one that comes with the Seasons pack though, that shower. So I'm just going to squidge things along because I wanted a little bit of space because I wanted to try and fit like a little stool in there. So I used the 4-inch stool, that the little plastic stool that came with that pack, which I think is actually quite a neat little bathroom stool. So I was quite pleased with that idea. Just putting in some little knickknacks in by the bath. There are a couple of things I do want to, like, as I was editing, I was like, I think I might need to play test those just to make sure I can, you know, still use those. I think that should be fine with the bathroom. There was a couple of other things, though, that did strike some alarm bells. Like, you know, sometimes you can just look at things as you're building them and you know that it's going to be absolutely fine. But other times you're just like, oh, that might be a little bit dicey. So, yeah, there are a couple of things where I went, a little bit dicey. So I will check those before I put it up on the gallery. And I did tweak a few things here and there that weren't on camera. But yeah, this will be up on the gallery, available to download. And it is just going to be super great for any sim that you want to do the mentioned Baron aspiration with, because they'll just be able to get it in one hit. But the thing is, you've got to be able to afford the price tag. So as long as you can afford the price tag, you're going to be good to go. But if you can't, then too bad. Then you can't. And you're not good to go. Oh, dear, oh dear. Trying to get everything to fit on there. I put lots of clutter in there, as you do. There we go. And just getting them all changed to more neutral colours. There we are. So it's just about that bathroom done. Just going to add a few more bits and pieces in and put my little plastic stall in. So this is the second bathroom that we were doing. So they're kind of like yin yang kind of bathrooms. So one attaches to one bedroom and one attaches to the second bedroom. Just like that. So instead of doing the towel rack, I decided to do shelving. And I think that's the Home Chef Hustle shelving. And then just threw some clutter on that as well, just to mix it up a little bit so they weren't exactly the same. Because, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of differences here and there. And I do love all those items that do fit in a small shelf slot. It just makes life so much easier if they do fit in those, because it's just kind of like you can easily put it on without having to fuss around with dragging them and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, moving on to the second and last downstairs bedroom. So we've got the Seasons bed, just using the Desert Luxe curtains, because of course we are. And this is going to be more of a brown toned bedroom. So the last bedroom that we did definitely had more of a blue tinge to it. This one is going to be on the more of the brown side of things. So going Seasons on the end tables, and I can never remember what pack that little glowing light thing is. The little glowing, you know, with the little branches. Can never remember. Just using the Modern Luxe chairs, and I think that's, no, I don't know which pack that couch is from. I'm going to say Book Nook, but I don't think that is. Anyway, doing something similar but not the same with the dressing area. So once again, just using Snowy Escape and Machino, but I'm doing like a different layout. So doing sort of like some shelves above the hanging area, and then doing a vanity and the shelves from Modern Luxe pack, from the Modern Luxe kit, and mixing it up a little bit, because I don't want like all the rooms to be the same. So, you know, it's good to mix it up a little bit. And that is the little debug item that I was talking about from the laundry pack, where it has like the stacked shirts, but it's like a higher stacked shirt than the one that you get with base game. So if you do have that pack and you want to mix up your stacked laundry, then look in debug. Which pack is that from? I'm just trying to remember which pack that that couch is from. I cannot for the life of me think which one it is. I feel like it's from a kit, but I'm not 100% on that one. Okay, just about finished with this room. We are just putting in like a chest table, and I was just changing the colour of the walls because I decided it wasn't quite warm enough, and went for like more of a peachy kind of undertone. So now we are upstairs and we are in our little gym area. So I mean, pretty simple. There's not like heaps and heaps of options as far as the gym goes. So got our 3 pieces of main furniture in there, spa day bench, and like some spa day towels. And then I'm going, because I'm in spa day, I'm going to do the yoga mat and like a little meditation stool, and going into the everyday clutter kit. I'm just using the little bits of exercise equipment, and then the little hanging balls that go up on the wall. And I thought I would use the I think this is from City Living, like the little athletic framed athletic wear picture that you get, because I thought that worked really nicely in the gym. And that's the gym, pretty simple. Then moving on to the first of 2 bathrooms on the second floor. So it's the same sort of thing again, with the Seasons bathroom set basically. So using the Ain't That Slate bath, the whatever the shower's called, and also the toilet. And once again using the Desert Luxe curtains on the windows just to cover that up. You know, privacy. Got to make sure we keep things private. And just using all the usual bits and pieces in the bathroom. I do really want to get like a more modern looking bathroom cabinet, like one that is just really simple lines that would be more flexible with like any type of bathroom would be fantastic. Just something that doesn't have like the little design, you know, how that one has like a little curvy kind of design that gives it a more traditional look. Yeah, I don't want that. I just want plain. And now we're on to the second bathroom. Now this is a much larger bathroom, so I had actually quite a bit of room to work with in this one. So I wanted to create like a little bath area. So this is what I'm working on at the moment. So just making like a cute little peaceful bath area, and then a separate shower. And I'm using the Get Famous shower, so mixing it up a little bit in this bathroom. I'm not using the season stuff. So then I thought, you know what, it'd actually be quite good to have a separate toilet. So then I was doing that. I was like, no, that like hanging it off the wall like that is stupid, because I initially did it like that because I didn't want to muck up the windows, but then I was like, no, stuff it, I'm gonna have to do something different. And then I was like having a look at what the window options were that came with Get Famous, and there was a single window and I could kind of make it look the same. So I was like, right, I'm gonna do that. And now this is the one thing that really struck alarm bells for me as far as space goes. So I really need to test that this is okay, because I did put like quite a large sink there. So I'm not sure whether or not you can actually access the bathroom through that door that comes from the bathroom. I know you'd certainly be fine with the other door, but yeah, I have to test that, make sure that works okay. And then I'm just doing the same as I did in the other bathrooms with the island living, the laundry basket underneath, and the growing together sink up there. I mean, it's not a sink, it's a mirror. And just adding in the bits and pieces of clutter. I am trying to use different clutter in this bathroom and not the bathroom clutter stuff. So I was just trying to mix it up a little bit. But you know, when you've got the good stuff, you're kind of like, you know what, I need to put some stuff on shelves. So there we go. There's the everyday clutter and bathroom clutter stuff. Yeah, you know, you got what you got. So I'm just going to put some artwork in there. I think that actually ends up changing a little bit later. And I did a couple of other things in that bathroom. But moving on into the attached bedroom. So I go quite hard on the modern luxe stuff for this bedroom. And it's quite dark as far as the colouring goes, but I lighten it up with little touches of cream. There isn't much in the way of blue, if any blue, in this room. It's a very brown chocolatey kind of vibe. And I did want to create like a little separate wardrobe / dressing area, so this is what I'm doing with the half walls there, and then adding in the chairs. And of course going black because that worked better with the room, and using the modern luxe artwork. I did need something in behind the bed, so I found that and I was like, you know what, that's kind of nice. And then adding in the blooming rooms hanging plant and the dine out hanging plant as well. I wish we had more plants that you could just attach to the wall like the dine out one, because that dine out plant is absolutely fabulous. Just for, you know, if you don't want to do artwork, you want to put something green on the walls just to brighten it up a little bit. You know, that's the go-to plant for me for that. That and the tiny home stuff pack hanging plant. That's the other one that I use all the time on the walls. Anyway, as you can see, I'm using the Modern Luxe Kit shelf, vanity and mirror, and I'm using the Dream Home Decorator hanging shelves. Just going to add some little bits and pieces in there, our clutter, change all the colors. And then I needed a vanity that would fit in there, or a dresser, sorry, that would fit in there. And the fluorescent one actually seemed to fit really nicely in there, so I was like, perfect, it's a nice dark colour and fits really nicely in the space. So winner winner chicken dinner. And of course we need our clutter. Ding da ding. And a bit more clutter there. I did add a few more things to that bedroom, like pillows and stuff like that, but that's essentially the room done. And then moving into the living space in the upstairs area. So just doing like a little gaming table, couch, kept it pretty simple, and just like another armchair and bits and pieces there. I do need to just test that it works okay. I think it might be a little bit too close in the corner. But anyway, easy enough to test. So then I was just working on that space there, and I figured, well, you know, a nice coffee table there, because I mean, you know, you're probably not going to be hanging out too much up there. You don't need too many details, but I thought like a nice shelf and some little bits of seating there does the trick nicely. And then moving into our second bedroom upstairs, second and last actually bedroom. So this room is going to be more of a blue vibe, but it's kind of, you know how we did that blue on the wall downstairs in the hall? It's going to be like that kind of blue where it's blue, but it's kind of got like a slightly greenish tinge to it. It's the blue that comes with the Dream Home Decorator pack. Well, no, it's kind of like the green that comes with the Dream Home Decorator pack, but it's like a bluey green, if that makes sense, but it's not teal. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's an odd colour, but yeah, it looks good, and it all worked really nicely together, so I was happy with that. And it's just basically, yeah, a Dream Home Decorator bedroom. So I'm using like the Dream Home Decorator wardrobe stuff, Dream Home Decorator chair, Dream Home Decorator mirror, I think that is, and also the bed. I don't think I used the bedside. Oh yes, I did. A Dream Home Decorator bedside table. Those are Dream Home Decorator lights. You know, you just like, if you got a pack and it's working, you know, you just go for it. I mean, because like the colours all coordinate and stuff, so it just worked. There is a snowy escape chair though. So that's a little different. It is a Dream Home Decorator rug, and I just needed something over in this corner. So I was playing around with this for a little while, trying to work that out, but got there in the end, and got rid of the painting, and then decided to do like a whole book office type thing. That did take a little bit of figuring out, but once I got the city living desk in there, with the bookcases on either side, I was like, bingo, that's what we need. So I just did like a little lappy top and the Dream Home Decorator chair, and we're done. So moving upstairs to the top floor, and our final room is our art studio. So I did spend like a little bit of time just going through debug and stuff like that. I kind of skipped over that because I figured, well, you know, it's just me scrolling through debug, finding things that I think might work. So I do skip over a little bit of that and move on, because, you know, we don't want to spend too much time on those sort of things when we were already 45 minutes into a build. A speed build at that. So I'm just using the chaise lounge. I thought that would actually, you know how in this, you know, probably you know, that scene from Titanic where Jack is drawing Rose and she's on that chaise lounge and, you know, lounging back. That was kind of the thought process that I had for why I put that in the art room, because I was thinking, you know, your subject can laze on the couch and pose and do their thing, and yeah, not be too hampered by the arms or whatever on the end of the couch. So I'm just putting in some photography stuff at the moment, because it occurred to me that, you know, photography kind of works hand in hand with art in a lot of ways. So that kind of made sense to have like a little photography section in the room. And then I found this debug apple, and I was like, I'm going to put that on a pedestal, like, you know, you're kind of like sketching it. So I thought that would be quite cute. Needed a little bit of artwork on the wall, and just moved a few things around just to adjust them and have, like, you know, plenty of clutter lying around, lots of different stuff. And I think I'm just going to put like a little coffee table down and a rug, and we're about done, oh my gosh, with this build. So we can do a little check on the aspiration and then take a tour. Okay, let's go check on the aspiration. So I'm just changing my character's aspiration now to Mansion Baron. There we go, and tick, and boom. So it's just going to cycle through 1, 2, 3, and then number 4, ka-ding, and that's the whole aspiration achieved in one little simple click. Easy as that. So let's take a tour of what we did. So this is the exterior of the house. I think it's gorgeous. I didn't want to go for like a giant classic mansion. I just wanted to do something more contemporary and modern. So this is what I came up with. I think it's a goodly sized house, so I wouldn't complain about living here, that's for sure. And I think keeping the landscaping fairly simple, I think it's pretty without being like over the top, which sometimes I can do. I can be a bit over the top with the landscaping because I just go wild. But I restrained myself this time. Don't worry, I restrained myself. And I think it came together really nicely. I really like the white on white with the different textures, so having the clapboard and the stone as well. You can sort of see around the back we've got our pool area, and we've got our seating areas and a barbecue area, and there's a little bit of grass there, so you can add some little different bits and pieces. And then going around to the side where we did our windbreaker row of trees, and I guess it's a privacy thing as well, having those trees there. I think it's really pretty. I'm really proud of how this came out. You know, it's a big build, but it came together really nicely. So then this is our hallway, our entrance area. So we did that in blue with the chocolate. And then moving through, this is our living room. So this is our little seating area near the bookshelves into the corner where the TV is. And there you can see the TV off in the distance with our black and white lovely artwork. There's the little owls, because I've always got to put owls and things if I can. I generally will. And then that's the little the seating corner there, another view of the living area. So it's quite a big space, that living area. And then moving on to the first of the downstairs bedrooms, which is the blue one with the snowy escape furniture. It's light and bright, and I don't know, I think it's really nice. Kind of peaceful vibe to it, this one. I like it. And then moving on to the first of the bathrooms, the en-suites that come with the downstairs bedrooms. And they're pretty similar as far as they look. And then on to the brown bedroom. So it's definitely got a different vibe to it, but I think it's quite warm in the way it's feeling. And I think like the peachy sort of apricot walls work really nicely with the brown, and is very on trend for 2024, by the way. And then moving into the second bathroom, you can see that was the one with the shelving on the wall opposed to the towel racks. And then this is the study. So this has like a little bit more blue in it, but has the dark brown on dark brown with the floor and the walls. And our little laundry area. So one of my Sims was in using the washer and dryer, so she got to be in the photo too. And then moving through to the kitchen. So it's Home Chef Hustle all the way, basically, that kitchen. I kept it pretty simple as far as like the decorations and stuff go. I didn't go overboard on the clutter. Like there is some clutter, but not like a crazy amount. But I think it contrasts nicely with the blue walls in behind. And I did change out the plants that I had there and put a cabinet in. So that was the sauna, and then we're moving upstairs. This is our lounge area upstairs, where we have a little bit of a seating area and stuff. Oh, so pretty. And moving into our first bedroom upstairs. So this is the modern luxe bedroom. Very chocolatey, but it's got like pops of cream and stuff in there, and you can sort of see the cushions on the couch there. And then like that's our little dressing area. And I love that ottoman that goes with really nicely with the Dream Home Decorator couches. That works out really nicely actually. And then going into the attached bathroom, and this is our largest bathroom, so like the space for, you know, a freestanding bath and everything like that. And I think that came together nicely, and that's like the toilet area, so separate toilet area. And this is our second bathroom, so this is the ensuite that goes with the next bedroom, and that's pretty simple and just whites. And then this is our next bedroom here, which is kind of that greeny tinge from Dream Home Decorator, sort of greeny blue going on. And look at that, it's my sim self on the computer doing her thing, studying away, probably gaming. That seems more on brand. And then moving upstairs, this is our art studio. So just use easels and dividers and chaise lounges and lots of clutter. Any arty clutter that I could find, I kind of use, like lumps of clay and stuff, and photography gear, a little bit of canvases sitting around. So I think that works really nicely. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this build. I had a lot of fun making this build. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun at the same time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.